March 4th, 2024 Daily Bread. Passage, John chapter 6, verse 1 through 15. Key verse 5. Title, Jesus feeds the 5,000. Sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, that is, the Sea of Tiberias, and a great crowd of people followed him, because they saw the signs he had performed by healing the sick. Jesus went up on a mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover festival was near. When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" He asked this only to test him, for he had already in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish, but how far will they go among so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. After the people saw the sign Jesus performed, they began to say, "Surely this is the prophet who is to come into the world." Jesus, knowing that they had intended to come and make him king by force, withdrew again to a mountain by himself. Daily Bread Message. Jesus wanted to feed the crowd of 5,000 people, but Philip thought it was impossible. Philip should have remembered Jesus' previous miracles, but he tried to handle the request with only his own resources. He lacked faith in Jesus, who guides us in our difficulties. The task that Jesus entrusts to us may be huge, but Jesus is the Lord. On the other hand, Andrew had faith in Jesus. Andrew did not have any resources, but did not despair. He looked around and found a child with 5 loaves and 2 fish. By faith, he brought them to Jesus. When they were placed in Jesus' hands, a miracle happened, and the crowd ate as much as they could. To those who do not have faith, 5 loaves and 2 fish are invisible. Even if they see them, they ignore them. To those who have faith in Jesus, 5 loaves and 2 fish are very precious. They believe what they cannot do, Jesus can do. So, they find and bring what they have to Jesus. Jesus can make miracles. Now Jesus wants to feed the hungry souls through his disciples. We may not have half a year's wages, yet as we give what we have by faith, the Lord will bless it and do wonders. Prayer. Lord, help me find my 5 loaves and bring them to Jesus by faith. One word, little is much when Jesus is in it.